Elon Musk is about to end Donald Trump's presidency. This on-again, off-again relationship between the two worst billionaires in America, and that is a tough competition, has been one of the worst parts of Donald Trump's entire administration. And now, with a new election bombshell from Elon Musk after he was outed by Donald Trump's White House, it is only looking to get worse because Elon Musk, somehow, in competition with Donald Trump, is still the most toxic person in American politics. No one is hated more than Elon Musk, and he is about to make Donald Trump hate him with the announcement that he just made as MAGA is tearing itself apart and the midterms look terrible. We are going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into this Elon bombshell, I want to start with the landscape for Donald Trump, how the midterms, the biggest decider of whether or not his presidency is going to be able to salvage itself or will spend the next 2 years engulfed in investigations. We got to start with how things are looking. Harry Anton broke down some polls, just showing that right here.
Yeah, you know, Donald Trump was elected to solve the economic crisis, to solve the pricing crisis. But at this particular point, these numbers are going in the complete wrong direction. On the economy, the country is going in the wrong track, the right track. You go back to January, these numbers were pretty split, right? 43% said wrong track, 36% said right track, right when Donald Trump came in office. But look at that. That wrong track number has skyrocketed up to 56%. My goodness gracious, who say that the country, at least when it comes to the economy, is on the wrong track. And that right track number, Kate Baldwin, has fallen to 29%. So what was a single-digit spread has ballooned up to a 27-point spread in the negative direction. The bottom line is this. Donald Trump is trying to spin a narrative, and the American people aren't buying the spin that is coming out of the White House.
Now, in these new numbers, what is driving the pessimism?
Yeah, what is driving the pessimism? I mean, we've done a bunch of segments on this, and we're going to continue to do segments on this when polling, like what came out yesterday from NBC News, continues to show it. Top concern for you, economic concern for you and your family. Look at this. Number one, we've said it over and over again. 44%. 44% say inflation. I looked at the second one on it. Look at that. It's all the way back at 9%, taxes and take-home pay. It's inflation overwhelmingly driving this economic pessimism. And I will tell you this, until the American people think that inflation is under control, they will continue to have pessimistic feelings about the economy because inflation is numero uno by a wide, wide margin in driving this economic pessimism.
Setting aside the president on this, how does this look party versus party?
Yeah, okay. So I think this is the key thing, right? Because oftentimes they'll say, hey, look, you know, we're blaming the president, but we've seen some polling in which Republicans still lead Democrats. But take a look here. Party trusted more on rising prices. Back in October of 2022, before that midterm election, it was Republicans trusted more by 14 points. You come now, it's a completely different tune. Now Democrats are trusted more by 4 points.
It is over for Donald Trump. He is unpopular on every single issue and is also becoming unpopular on some very key issues with his own MAGA base. And for the first time since Donald Trump was elected president, for the first time since he was the nominee of the Republican Party, Republicans are preferring traditional Republicans to MAGA Republicans. He has lost his grip over an increasingly fractured coalition, and now he's going around the country trying to tell the tall tale of how great everything's been, and it's just not the case. He just did so in Pennsylvania last week, and it is the reason that Governor Shapiro just smacked him down and called out his lies. It's very important context before we get into Elon's midterm bombshell.
I think it is insulting to the people of Pennsylvania that this guy shows up and lies to the good people of Pennsylvania and tries to convince them to unsee something they saw with their own eyes, rising prices at the grocery store and elsewhere. So I guess JD was afraid to upset his boss, and this is what you get, more lies here in Pennsylvania. Good people of Pennsylvania are pretty darn smart, and I know they'll reject JD's BS.
Governor Shapiro is spot on. Donald Trump is not going to get people with pyrotechnics and screaming Hillary Clinton to believe that our economic conditions, that the material conditions of working people aren't drastically worse, because they are. And they have gotten worse because of Donald Trump. The man who promised to make prices go down has now sent them skyrocketing as he focuses focuses on his ballroom and a war that nobody asked for with Venezuela. That is what Donald Trump is locked in on. So no amount of rallies and crazed remarks about Hannibal Lecter is going to change our mind. Donald Trump is struggling, and it's only about to get worse in the midterms, which is why what Elon just announced, one of the biggest problems for Trump the last time that we had a big election, it's bad news. And it starts with what Susie Wilds had to say in a recent interview. Fact Post shared Trump's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, on Elon Musk. He's an avowed ketamine user, and he sleeps in a sleeping bag in the EOB in the daytime. He's an odd duck. That news also collided with this breaking story this morning, Elon Musk diving into 2026 midterms for the GOP. One Twitter user responded to that story, sharing what the map looked like in Wisconsin the last time Elon Musk got involved in an election. Now, while Elon was able to help Donald Trump buy the presidential election, when he tried that shit again in Wisconsin, I think we all remember the result. Elon Musk poured more money into a state Supreme Court seat than we had ever seen before, literally trying to buy votes, getting into legal trouble doing so. And now he has announced that he is dipping his billionaire toes that nobody wants to see back in the waters of democracy. Elon Musk is getting involved in the 2026 midterms. And literally, what could be worse for MAGA? Their problem will not be fundraising dollars. It will not be how many ads they have on TV. It will be the fact that Donald Trump has sold out America to a billionaire oligarchy that is now trying to buy our elections again. Elon Musk getting involved in the midterms will be an incredible message for Democrats running in red districts that they are looking to flip and saying, look who is trying to buy your vote once again. The guy who got us here in the first place. Elon Musk is not spending millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. I wouldn't be surprised if he's sinking $1 billion into coming elections. He is not doing that because he thinks he is driving America into the right direction. That's what Elon said. That's what so many people believed before they saw the fucking weirdo that he was, which I guess you should have seen a long time ago. They thought, here's a smart guy. Here's a billionaire. He must know something about the economy. It was the same lie that Donald Trump was able to feed so many Americans the first time he ran for president. And what happened with Elon? He cut millions of jobs. He cost the lives of millions of kids already with how he dismantled programs that are necessary for the United States. Elon Musk deciding that he was going to decimate the way that we interact with the rest of the world, that he was going to say, a couple $1 million here that we send to make sure kids don't starve, I'm going to get rid of that. Not only does this diminish America's standing on the world stage, but so many of the food products we bought to send around the world were purchased at home. Farmers, you know how you're struggling? Blame Elon. Those seats in Iowa, Nebraska, you get close because of Elon. Northern New York, getting close because of Elon. No one is going to have a positive view of any candidate taking millions of dollars from Elon Musk, the man set to become the first trillionaire in the history of the world at the same time as your healthcare premiums double and triple. He helped cause that. He enriched himself more than anyone could have ever imagined. As you were unable to afford groceries, the guy who's going to get involved in the midterms was selling Teslas on the White House lawn. And then he only did one good thing. I'll give him credit. He did one thing. He said Trump was in the Epstein files. And then what did he do? He walked it all back. He walked it all back. So what goodwill does anyone have towards Elon Musk, the most unpopular figure in American politics? None. So while some might see Elon, getting involved in the midterms as a potential win for Republicans, what I'll tell you is money is not going to save you. It's not. Didn't work in New York City. Zohran Mamdani beat all of Donald Trump's donors. It's not going to work in these midterms, especially when Elon is the one writing the checks. We are done with the billionaires. We are done with the oligarchy. We are done with the establishment. And that is what AOC had to say right here.
So who are they going after? They are going after 6-year-olds in my district. They are going after students and permanent residents for their political views. They are going after Americans born and raised in the United States. And time again, Trump has floated taking away citizenship from U.S. citizens based on their ethnicity. At every point, this administration has lied to us about ICE in America, while some of the wealthiest actors in our country have tried to sell us a myth to defend it, including private prison contractors. And that myth, that ideology, is that our immigrant neighbors are our enemies and more dangerous than us. And they sustain that myth because if everybody believes it, they can get away with robbing all of us. I want to remind you where the real crime is. It's in the oligarchs taking $170 billion of our money from health care and food assistance and public programs and taking that and funneling it into a secret police program. It's the authoritarians trying to create a black box because once it is established, they can put political dissidents inside of it. But their hatred is a story, a myth, and we can choose to reject it. Donald Trump and Stephen Miller want you to believe that this is who we are as a country. And we are here to say that it is not. We are a country that has fought and defeated the Confederacy, that has defeated a history of civil rights violations, of secret police, of fascism. We are a country guided by a monument to freedom on the waters of New York City, who shines brightly and welcomes, quote, the huddled masses yearning to breathe free to our shores. So right now, I ask everyone in our country to fight for that ideal, to fight for this legacy.
This is a bombshell that is going to rock Donald Trump. I can promise you that much. The tide has surely turned, and there is nothing he can do to return to a time in which anyone took him and Elon Musk seriously as people who knew what they were talking about. We see them, we see their game, we know what they are after. It is enriching themselves as much as possible. That is what they use the government for. Cuts to USAID, that wasn't to benefit you and I. That was just to hurt people because that's what they do. And that's why we got to call them out. We're certainly going to on this show. If you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting, y'all. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.